Yeah, well, there they go again. Why is the FBI targeting Trump supporters and voters? A brand new story in Newsweek magazine. It's about 20 pages long. Joining me now to talk about it, Mark Simone, WOR radio host, Joe Concha, media and politics columnist for The Messenger and Fox News contributor and author of, here I go, Come On Man, The Truth About Joe Biden's Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Presidency.
Right.
Nailed it. I like saying it. But there's this long story in Newsweek, about 20 pages long, and it talks about a new campaign. They don't say MAGA anymore. Anti-government, anti-authority, violent extremists, agave. But the FBI is looking for them all over the place. And the sources in here, which are admittedly anonymous sources, they say it's aimed at the Trump people. What do you think, Mark Simone?
Well, it's a technique that goes back to the French Revolution. You create a demon to rile up the mob that they have to be afraid of. And they always do this. It was the neocons at one time, and then it was the Tea Party. You had to be afraid of the Tea Party. They were extremists. Then you'd see video of them, a couple of senior citizens at a state fair with signs. It's absolutely ridiculous, just trying to...
But do you think it's true, what they're saying? I mean,
oh, absolutely.
You do think it's true?
It's more of Biden weaponizing the DOJ. If it wasn't for corrupt media, he couldn't get away with this. This is Joe, they should just call him police state Joe. Everything is a police state here.
Joe Concha, you know, the Robert Ray, the FBI director, is that his name, Robert Ray?
Yeah.
That's his name. He swore up and down to Jim Jordan in Judiciary Committee hearings that there was even-handed justice. No, the FBI was not involved in politics.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we've seen this movie before, and I'm glad Mark brought up the Tea Party, right? Because the IRS obviously targeted them. We saw that during the Obama administration. Then obviously we saw during parents' meetings at school boards, right? Where the DOJ then labeled them potentially domestic terrorists. So is this possible? Here's all I know. FBI is supposed to be apolitical. So is the CIA, so is the DNI. Who ran the FBI under Obama, Biden? James Comey, right? And since then, he's written 2 anti-Trump books, got a Showtime series, right? So obviously, he exposed himself for where he leaned. Then obviously, you had John Brennan ran the CIA. He's over on MSNBC now. I can't tell the difference between him and Keith Olbermann as far as his analysis. So was he really apolitical? And then James Clapper, DNI. Signs with CNN, another big contract. His role is to go on there and bash Trump. Oh,
Clapper.
By the way, Brennan and Clapper, they've now been hired back by the Biden administration to serve on the board of directors at DHS.
I know, I saw that. Clapper, of course, who lied several times under oath before Congress. I mean,
Right.
just lied, outright lied. All right, so this has legs. You think this story has legs, whatever Robert Ray happens to say. So speaking of Congress, we've had a little bit of upheaval on the Republican side, Mark Simone.
Yeah.
Who are you backing for Speaker? Who are you personally backing for Speaker?
Donald Trump would be great, but that's not going to happen. I think I just saw him on this program, Byron Daniels. I think that would be...
Byron Donalds was just on the show.
Byron Donalds.
First.
Imagine if the Republicans had the first African-American Speaker of the House.
Oh, I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah, imagine what that would do.
By the way, he's a really smart guy.
He's a brilliant guy.
Super smart guy.
Wonderful guy. But just that, doing that would have a lot of effect on the election next year.
President Trump is going down to speak to the Republican conference on Tuesday.
Yeah, they need a coach. They need a Vince Lombardi on the field to whip them into shape, and that'll be Donald Trump.
Joe Concha, Vince Lombardi. I remember Vince Lombardi.
From New Jersey, I believe.
That's
right?
indeed.
Also coached high school basketball. Boys, true story.
Englewood Cliffs.
That's right.
St. Cecilia. Actually, it was Englewood. St. Cecilia parochial school. Sorry,
now you're showing off.
We're distracting here.
Anyway, I'm on
Steve Scalise is running. Jim Jordan is running so far. Byron Donalds may be running. We don't know. It's a very interesting pick that Mark Simone make. What do you think?
Here's what I want selfishly from an entertainment perspective, and I wrote about it for themessenger.com today, and that is if you make Donald Trump Speaker of the House, picture the State of the Union address. You have Joe Biden at the podium, you have Kamala Harris, and then when Biden's talking about how great Bidenomics is or the border is secure or how great everything's going with the Ukraine war, there's the Trump faces being made. And at the end, he takes the speech and he rips it in half. And then the next day, he's running impeachment against his 2024 opponent. If that doesn't do wonders, as far as like this is already the top-rated show, you'll be getting like $5 million a night if this happens. So selfishly, I want that to happen. I'm with Byron Donalds as well because I see how well he does in TV interviews. He's not afraid to go anywhere anytime, by the way. CNN, MSNBC does not matter. So I think you need somebody like that who is fearless and can move the ball forward.
I'm saying, I said this last evening, and I believe this. The liberal media now is running wild. Republicans can't govern. Republicans are stupid. Republicans this, Republican that, because of a handful of people that basically should not have done what they did. But I don't want to replay that. I see a Republican comeback. They will find a speaker. They have a strong bench. They've got good policies. They're determined. We just heard H.R. 2, which is the border control bill. Biden's phoning up some border regulations now. They'll push that bill. They'll be tough on Ukraine. They'll be tough on spending. They want to open up the fossil fuel spigot. Why can't the Republicans in Congress and the House make a comeback and put some real heat on the left-wing Democrats in the Senate, the Schumer Democrats? Why not?
It's messaging, too. The border's wide open. Shoplifting is legal. And they're saying the Republicans can't govern? Yeah. That's the first job of government, is safety and the border and all of that. But I think they will. Jim Jordan would be another good choice, too. Mm-hmm. He'd have to get a jacket.
Well, his hat is in the ring. He doesn't need a jacket.
Okay, he doesn't
He's
need a
never
jacket.
had one before.
But for what we're about to do, impeachment, whatever's going to happen, you might need a wartime conciliatory like in The Godfather. He might be good now.
Ooh. What do you think?
There would be a Fetterman rule for Jim Jordan?
Republicans can have a comeback. That's all I'm aiming for here.
Of course they can. Look at the news cycle already. The McCarthy thing's already been swept out to sea by the fact that the Biden administration's building a border wall now, or at least restarting one.
What do you think about that? Is this a Biden capitulation? Will Biden apologize to Donald Trump because Trump is right all along about the border wall?
You would need remorse in your DNA, and this president does not have that. So no apology will be coming. He needs to remain in Mexico as well if he truly wants to do something.
No, that's exactly right. They should put in a Title 42. Are you waiting for Joe Biden to apologize to Donald Trump?
No, Joe Biden has no intention of building a border wall. This is just election pandering. This is, he's trying to triangulate.
17 miles is what the report is. That's all they're going to do. Not even 20 miles, 17 miles for this border wall.
He'll do what he always does, just talk.
But, Mark, they have to overturn the Endangered Species Act in order to complete this wall. Is that a bone crusher or what?
It'll be a solar-powered wall with windmills on it. And,
Is anybody going to call this wall racist now? Yeah. That Biden's building
tomorrow.
One, 17 miles?
Tomorrow's headline.
Can't wait for it.
You heard it first here, folks. Mark Simone and Joe Concha, whatever they said, you heard it first.